Oh. Okay, hello, welcome. Let me turn my music off. We're just getting started. We're gonna have a great time. It's gonna be kind of a party, hopefully, we'll see. Feeling good. It's an hour later than I typically do live things. And I do have everyone muted. Here's a couple things just to note. So I'm so happy you're here. A couple things to note is this is going to be more training where you can ask questions in the chat and there'll be time for questions. And also, I have to be very honest with you and say yesterday, my son had a fever at daycare and they said he can't come back tomorrow. So today, we played all morning and he's currently got his cartoons and I'm like, 1 hour, that's it. But if there is a distraction, that's just how it's gonna go. I would rather be here and try my best to lead this and help you out, knowing how his personality is. He's fine, but if something comes up, I will, hi Igor. If something comes up, I'll definitely have to pay attention to him. So typically I'm a little bit more focused in on you, but I have some feelers out there just in case he needs me. So my son Felix, he's 3 years old. He's just over there. So I set them all up with all the snacks. Here's your water, here's your smoothie, here's your cartoons, here's this. And that's just what we gotta do sometimes. So welcome, we've got a good little group here. I love it. I love presenting things live and doing live trainings. And also before we get into the actual systems training, some of you have seen this before, but it's always different each time. Just based on experience and other questions and things we say. Next week, what I wanted to say is next week I'm teaching a free training with Offering Tree on courses, on course creation, live, hybrid, and pre-recorded courses. That is going to be a brand new training, something I've never taught before and really relevant in 2026. So I will also share a link to sign up for that. It's at offeringtree.com/webinars. It's not through me, it's through Offering Tree. So I'm gonna pull up the chat and put that there just so you know where the chat is anyway. It's offeringtree.com/webinars and you can sign up for it. It is free. It's gonna be an hour training similar to this, except we're talking about a slightly tangential topic. So this is the overview of all the systems. That one's more about course creation and hosting live courses and hybrid courses. It's really cool. So they all combine together, but it's all good information. And whether you are a current member or client or have worked with me before and paid me money, or you're here for the free stuff, I love it. You know, get as much as you can with as little or as much as you have. And the more you put into it, whether it's time or money, the more time, energy you put into something, the more you're going to get back. So if you're here live, I really appreciate you. I know that it's Friday and we're all kind of busy. So let's get this party started. Okay, feel free to write any, again, questions, say hello, where you're from, use the chat as much as you want. I am currently streaming on YouTube as well, so you can use the comment section there. And we'll do this. Okay, awesome. So let's get to it. This is our training on systems to save time, make money, and avoid burnout. And I see one person on video. Give me a thumbs up, Sue, if you can see the slides. You're good? Like you're seeing it? Okay, just making sure so I'm not, talking just with my face. So you can see the slides. Awesome. This is the first one, systems to save you time and avoid burnout. Feel free to put, if you see any little people, if you're on a computer, you can kind of minimize them if I'm distracting and you just want to listen in, or sometimes it is nice to see, people's faces and all that. So here we go. I'm Ashley. Some of you, most of you, probably already know me. You've taken some trainings with me, watched me on YouTube, or are in some of my groups. It doesn't matter. It's actually, well, it does matter. It's great that you're here, but I want to do just a little introduction in case someone happens to pop on that has never met me before and we haven't met each other. One of my favorite things to do is to meet you too. So that's why I do a lot more, especially lately, of these live trainings, welcome calls, discovery calls, those kinds of things, because I like meeting people on the other side, and it's just such a great way to connect. I'm a yoga teacher and tech savvy online digital helper / business coach. I have a business called Ashes Yoga. It encompasses yoga classes and all that. Sure, that's how I started, but I also have a background in graphic design and computer stuff, all the techie stuff. So I like to use that to help other yoga teachers, and not just yoga teachers, okay? Got to make that clear. Yoga teachers, wellness professionals, and service-based businesses. So a few of my examples today are not going to be yoga teachers, or they're like tangent to yoga teachers, they're side steps. So I have a few people who are into Pilates and fitness, sure, not yoga, but still relevant. My mom will be an example, and she's a hairstylist. We also have an opera singer. We have all sorts of people. So it's not just yoga teachers. And also, just on that same note, I don't specifically teach to product-based businesses. So if you're looking to launch, like my sister has, a pottery business, this is somewhat relevant, but not super relevant. Like, I'm talking more to like the coaching side of things, coaching and teaching services, classes, events, any business that encompasses that kind of thing, okay? And Angela says she'll have to hop off in 20 minutes. That's okay, you were here last week, so all good. But I love that you're here staying accountable, because that's one of the best things you can do. Okay, so I like to simplify tech for wellness professionals. Hopefully that's you. If you can, in the little chat box, tell me what it is you teach, or just give me like a 1 or 2 word. Is it yoga, Pilates, something else, fitness? You can be specific if you want, but I'd love to hear what you teach. Yoga and mindfulness, I think that's going to be a lot of us, especially if you're on live, because there's only a few. But those who are watching elsewhere, maybe you're not a yoga teacher. That's okay. We got a lot of yogas here. Awesome. So we're going to be really focused in on the yoga, but I'll give you examples that are not yoga, and you'll apply it to your own business. And if you don't consider yourself a business yet, we'll get there. Okay, I was just drinking my matcha not a latte, but this matcha protein drink from Starbucks. Not the best, but it's pretty good. So I have that with me, matcha and CrossFit. I've been doing CrossFit for 2 years. So not only do I learn a lot of these systems and things from what I do in my own business, but also as a client and a member of other communities. So I've been a member of CrossFit. I'm not a coach, anything like that. I have taken one-on-one coaching, remote asynchronous coaching programs. I do a lot of education, and I'm always looking at it from an overview perspective of seeing what works well and maybe what could be improved. So that's what I'm here to tell you today. And most important, I have 2 little children, and I mentioned that earlier. Well, I mentioned the one. One is here home with me, and the other one is at school today. So I don't have tons of time, so I'm not just like, I'm bored, what should I do? I should just write a bunch of emails for fun. I don't think any of us really wants to live that life where we're constantly on our computer doing all the admin tasks. So I've got shortcuts and time-saving solutions for you. So not only am I hanging out with my kids, but I'm going to the gym. I like going to CrossFit nearly every day. It's fun. It takes about 2 hours of my time. I like going hiking. I like going on trips and adventures. And without systems in place in my business, which is it's a pretty successful or lucrative business. I could give you exact numbers if you want, but it's irrelevant, because I'm not teaching you to be me. I'm teaching you to do things that work for you. So my journey is that I started out as a graphic designer, and I turned into a yoga teacher in 2013 when I quit my full-time job as a designer and started teaching 10 to 20 or over 15 classes per week. I've led teacher trainings, workshops, chasing the dream of yoga teacher success, which I thought was like barefoot and free-spirited, hosting retreats, doing all the classes, but really I thought it was less stressful. I thought it was less exhausting. I thought it was like, sometimes you get in your head, oh, I'm gonna be a yoga teacher, so that means I'll be doing yoga all day. That's not the case. There's actually a lot more. It's usually like 80% admin work, 20% yoga or less if you're running a business. And if you are teaching class to class everywhere, you're probably doing 90% teaching a bunch of stuff, 10% trying to make it work, right? So you're just bouncing from class to class. Yes, hold on a second. Oh, I see. There you go. He's on my phone for cartoons right now, so something appeared. He clicked a button. So anyways, so after moving across the country, and so I was teaching a ton of classes, and that's only sustainable for a very short period of time. Not short, but not like you can't retire. I don't know anyone who's done, or hardly anyone who's done like 30 years of teaching 15 to 20 classes a week that didn't find other things to supplement their income, because it's kind of exhausting. So after moving across the country, I became a mom, and I had lots of debt, and I needed a sustainable way to teach and make money, which is why I created these systems. And one of my superpowers is I'm really good at pattern recognition and problem solving. So I started with teaching yoga teachers how to do yoga class sequencing, because I can recognize patterns and put it together in a system, which is what I'm now doing with technology. So eventually, now I help other teachers grow and create systems in their own businesses rather than in their classes, which is what I started with. And I did have a studio at one point, a yoga studio. So I've got a little bit of experience with that. And then I realized I'd much rather be home with my children or be able to just take a spontaneous weekend away or be able to work from anywhere than be tied down to a physical location. And if you've got a physical location and you love it, stay with it, keep with it. That's amazing. This can also work for you. So now as an online business coach, I support yoga teachers, wellness coaches, service-based businesses with the digital component, the digital aspect of their business. So my belief is that if you have online business skills and digital content creation, that can translate to more and better opportunities for you. An example of that, and I'll just keep talking, example of that was when I was teaching full-time, I got actually quite a few opportunities to teach more and more workshops at the yoga studio I was working for. I taught a lot of events. I taught like a Mother's Day yoga, rooftop yoga, all the like fun event type things. And I was constantly being picked to do those things, but I wasn't being picked because I'm an awesome teacher. I was pitching myself. So I would create a package of like why I should teach this. Here's some graphics. Here's a description of what I want to teach. Here's all the details. I created this little like formula system where I could give it to the studio owner and say, I want to do this. What do you think? And it made it really easy for her to either make changes or say, yes, awesome, or just go back and forth very minimally. Because the worst thing that could happen, not the worst, but something that happens that is frustrating is that back and forth, constant email back and forth, communication, and someone's not making a decision. So I've had yoga teachers come to me when I was a studio owner and say, hey, I want to do a vinyasa workshop. And I'm like, great, details. So if we could get some details going, that would be awesome. But it's like, well, I don't know, you're the owner, you figure it out. And I'm like, I'm not gonna figure it out. So knowing that, I would go to the studio owner and give her all the details of what I wanted to teach. And sometimes it was a no, sometimes it didn't fit, but it still created more opportunities for me because I had a system in place where I could give that to her. It also increases your income because you get more opportunities, and it gives you time and location freedom, especially with the online side of things, because you can work from anywhere. Now currently I work from anywhere in my house. Right now I'm in my recording space that I typically record yoga. Sometimes I'm at my kitchen counter, sometimes I'm in my bedroom, but not just location freedom in your house, but I mean anywhere. I've taught workshops from and classes from on a vacation. Last year I went to Joshua Tree and recorded a class in the desert. I taught from my sister's house, my mom's house in Minnesota, and it makes it so that I don't have to cancel everything and depend on other people because I can bring it with me. Now, of course, we all need breaks. That's great. But when it's like one workshop like this, if it's just a one-time thing once in 1 week, I don't want to cancel. I'm still going to be here. And so I'm able to do that. And you can too. So 10 years ago, it was about 2016, I went all in on learning to grow an online business. I invested in my very first online business course. And since then, I've probably enrolled in like 10 more and a bunch of other things. Anytime I want to learn something and be really good at it, I find an expert that knows what they're talking about and I follow their steps, trying to go to a T, but sometimes it's just, I just needed steps 1, 2, and 3. I didn't need 4 through 10. I just needed this little thing, but I typically will find an expert, learn what I can, and actually apply it and not get stuck in that education loop, but instead application. It is very easy for yoga teachers to go into more trainings and more trainings and more trainings, thinking that education is what's going to give you more success, when in reality, it's applying some of these more tangible, non-sexy type things. It's the scheduling, the booking, the software that can really help. So last note on how this changed my life and how I've been able to grow. So my current business, I do make over $150,000 a year, which is awesome and cool, which gives me the income to make more impact for more people. Gives me the freedom to plan trips without hesitation. I can see family, take trainings. I'm not going to guarantee any amount of income for you, but if you start now and learn these systems, you won't have to lead into that burnout of teaching a bunch of classes. So we can really simplify things. I can dive into other hobbies like CrossFit without needing to turn it into a job or feel like I need to put up a pop-up yoga class there to make some money. I don't want to do that. Even though I would love to do that, I don't have to. I can work from anywhere, from home, from my family's house, and I can create my own schedule. I also have been able to co-parent amicably, and this is a big one because I don't think it's talked about enough, but I was able to hire a co-parenting coach for one and actually get along with my kid's dad through some really difficult transitions back and forth. So with our 2 young kids, we split 50-50 time. And if anyone else has ever split and is co-parenting, you know how difficult it can be. Even if you have a friendly relationship, it can still be very difficult. So I haven't had to fight expensive or draining court battles. And that's not just the money side of it, and not because I wanted to save money, but because I've decided to take all of my energy, instead of fighting and thinking about this is owed to me. Instead, I put it into my business and I work a little bit harder. And then I'm able to give my kids a life that I would give them if I had them 100% of the time. So to me, that's a big deal. For you, it might be something else. As I get older, my goal and dream and passion is to hopefully help my mom as she grows older, to be there for her so I don't have to say I have to work when she's in need. So that's something that I hope to do in hopefully a long time. She's very young when she had me, so hopefully that's not gonna happen for a while, but I do want to be there. So if we fast forward to today, you might have met me or found me through some of these avenues. I do have a Facebook group. It's called Yoga Sequencing and Teaching Tips with 112,000 people, but you might have found me through Yoga Business and Online Teaching Tips Facebook group. It has about 6,000 people, a little smaller group, but that one is actually currently where I am in more. I do have a YouTube channel with tons of resources on online systems, business building, technology, and some yoga sequencing, a lot of things from the past. The great thing with YouTube is that it continues to grow even when you're not making videos. And then I am on Instagram. You can chat with me over there at Ashes Yoga. And then I've created and sold a bunch of memberships, over 20 online courses, and continue to create more. Actually, I'm trying to repeat them, and that's one of our methods here today. And I've taught thousands of in-person classes, and I've taken over a studio. So that's just a little bit of credibility and a little bit of story. Maybe you've seen yourself in some of this, in some of the struggle. And so I'm helping you to overcome some of that or move forward with a little bit more clarity and simplicity. So what we're covering today, is 5 systems to save you time and reduce burnout, and then practical tools that you can use immediately. A simpler path to growing your business and details about how we can work together. Yay. But if you're here, again, if you get what you need out of this, you're like, I'm good to go. That's awesome. I am not one to pressure anybody into working with me, although it'd be great because I love doing those welcome calls. I did a few last week and it's just so much fun to meet you guys, meet everybody, to talk to you. And that's why I'm showing up live a lot more, because I get to like be there. We get to be, even though it's over a computer, it's still live and there's still that energetic component. That's so nice. So if you're running a wellness business or trying to get started, it could look a couple different ways. Number one, you could have a bunch of tools to manage your schedule, everything, like a bunch of tools to manage one schedule, or a bunch of tools to manage your entire business. So you've got your website tool, your scheduling tool, your course tool, you got this tool, you got that tool, you got this and the other thing. I mean, it happens. I do have a bunch of tools, but I kind of stacked them over the course of time, and some of them are unnecessary to start with. So you don't need a bunch of tools to start. And also we can simplify if you are in that place. It can look like you constantly creating new offers, running on that hamster wheel, manually sending Zoom links and invoices, and doing a lot of admin work that just is a lot. Social media without strategy, just throwing things out there because, well, this person did it, or maybe I'll post today, or maybe I'll not, I don't know. And then hustling to make ends meet. This was me, I think, about 8 years ago, where I had a bunch of tools. This was before I discovered Offering Tree, and just before I discovered some other tools that were really helpful. Not that I discovered them, but new systems has come into place. So if you've been out of the game for a while in the technology sphere, it's a lot simpler now. It's a lot easier, and I want to show you how. Another way that running a wellness business could look like is pen and paper. People sign in with a pen, maybe they drop money in a jar, and you've got paper appointments. People are calling you all the time to book appointments. You have to write it down somewhere. You've got to manage all of this, and it's really distracting. So in this way, you would be manually sending reminder emails, calling people each day that you have appointments to remember, and then you're just, at the end of the day, exhausted with barely anything to show for it. You know those days where you feel so busy, but you feel like you got nothing done. So even with just 1, 2, or 3 appointments or classes a day, there's a lot of work behind the scenes. And a lot of that, if you're teaching for a studio, you don't see that because it's set up with systems, and probably either the owner is doing it, or maybe you are the owner and you know about this, or the studio manager or something like that. But when you go off on your own, which is what the type of person I love helping is the solo entrepreneur, the one that wants to branch out on their own, do their own thing, maybe teach for a gym or a studio here and there because you love it, and that can be like a hobby, but you want to do something for yourself and not be tied to a business that you have no control over. You don't know if they're going to close. You don't know if they're going to take a week off, or your classes are going to get cut. So there's not a lot of dependability sometimes. And with how businesses are going, you know, the brick and mortar ones and all the taxes, all the things. Anyway, it's tough for studios to stay open. So I created this method called the STACK method to help you to get your wellness business to support you. So 5 things we're going to talk about. And here are the 5, just giving you an overview. So you're like, oh, I know how to do all that. I'm out. Go ahead. If you're like, I know how to do scheduling. I know how to have communication templates. Oh, that's easy. Maybe not. Automating payments and pricing. If you already do that, that's amazing. Maybe there's something that I can share with you from either experience or a little tip. Maybe you can, even if you took just like 1 or 2 little golden nuggets from this, that could be worth it. I mean, worth your time. I'm like, you didn't pay for this, so it's worth your time. Creating repeatable offers. I'm repeating this, which is something that's the one that I'm actually working on. And then keeping your tools consolidated. So we're going to go through each of these and give some examples of what each might look like. The first one, and I think is, okay, first let's take a drink. Take a little drink. It's a lot of talking. Felix is doing fine. We're doing good. Good job. Okay, yes. Let students self-book classes. Yes, so we're not going to be taking pen and paper or phone calls anymore. In the age of the internet, which started a while ago, we can create systems to allow students to self-book classes, but also make it really easy for them to either register and check in. Whether that's on an app or a specific website, it should be like a one-click, I'm in, awesome. I do that every day before I go to CrossFit. I have to go and register for the class to show that I'm gonna go. Same thing for yoga classes or any kinds of classes or appointments. You'll see an example in a moment. It would be great if you could sync this with your online calendar and with your students' online calendars, if they can put it in their calendar so that they can get reminded, or some people do just live, by their calendar and it has to be on their calendar. So instead of having them manually create a calendar item, have an online calendar that syncs with your system. And then automating Zoom links and reminders. If you teach online or if you're doing Zoom meetings for any reason whatsoever, and I think there's a lot of applicable reasons to be doing Zoom meetings no matter who you are, even if it's just to book a call, Zoom meetings are great because you get to see the person, and it's free or potentially free, and most people know how to use it by now. So tools that you could use are things like Offering Tree, Calendly, Acuity. There was one called like Schedulicity. There's a few others out there as well, online calendars, but go with something that's simple. You're gonna hear me talk about Offering Tree a bit. This is not a training to get you to buy Offering Tree, okay? But I will talk about it because I do love that system, and I think it's such a simple way to do all of these things. Once you set it up, yeah, there's some upfront work, but once you set it up, you're good to go. For example, I have all my classes on my schedule where someone could just click register, boom, and that's it. And they register, go through the process, and the process is simple. Just input your email, payment method if you want to make a payment, and you're all good to go. I don't have to do anything. It's all hands off. The only thing I have to do is show up for the class, and that's it. So I set this up, put some pictures up, put a description, put a title up there, pick the time, I have it auto magically create Zoom links each day. And having a system like that takes a lot of load off of my shoulders and allows me to just show up and do what I love doing. In another way, there's the weekly calendar where this kind of looks a lot like schedules you'll see for yoga classes, but it doesn't have to be yoga classes, okay? So I'm letting you know this because my membership classes are also listed here, my membership calls. In Ashes Academy membership, where I teach you how to do all these things step by step, we also have co-working sessions. So I put that on my public schedule so that people can book. There's a discount code for members and they book that way. Otherwise, I actually have it listed at $100. Nobody's ever done that. That's an outrageous price. But in the description, I say, if you have the discount code, if you're a member, you can book this class. Otherwise, don't. I just want it to be public because it's good marketing, right? So I want people to be able to see that we do have these members coaching calls. And if you're interested, you'd read the description. Otherwise, my yoga classes are listed too. And then for my side, when I go to Zoom, because I work online a lot, if you're doing in-person classes or events, it's not going to show Zoom links, obviously. But if you are doing online appointments on Zoom, what's really great is it actually automatically pops everything into Zoom. So all I have to do is hit start. I've got a group classes, Zoom co-working sessions, one-on-one welcome calls, as well as coaching calls. So both appointments and group classes pop up onto my schedule immediately. Well, not immediately. The first person has to book. So if it's a group class, it's not going to show up on your Zoom schedule until the first person registers. And then once it shows up, cool, I hit start, we're good to go. So on my side, super simple. This is my mama Rosie, Grandma Rosie, as we say. She is my children's grandma. They love her very much. And she visits a few times a year. She's actually in Minnesota and I'm in Washington State. So we are quite a ways away. But every time she comes here, she comes and cuts my kids' hair because she knows what she's doing. That's her profession. That is not mine. But she always knew and had this dream that she wanted to branch out on her own and start her own, not her own salon. She never wanted to manage people, but she wanted to rent a station. This is very common for hairstylists, to rent a station at a salon and then create your own schedule, your own appointments. She didn't want to run the building. She didn't want to run the people or manage the desk. She just wanted to rent a station. Luckily, like just in a really good way, there was actually a salon in her tiny town in Minnesota that the owner, who's an older woman who only wants to work a couple days a week, allows her to use her salon 2 days a week. She rents it. She rents the salon 2 days a week, and it's just her. But that means she has to do her own scheduling and booking. Most hairstylists, I don't know, maybe not nowadays, maybe not like the fancy pants ones, but if you're in a small town or if you're doing what everyone's always done in the past, typically you're doing paper appointments. You're doing phone calls. People call you up, you book it, you put it on paper. You have to call them the day of and remind them that they have their hair appointment. And it's a lot of admin work. And when she was working for a salon versus on her own, she would do a bunch of people's hair for minimum wage, pretty much. Commission was very low. And she would be distracted frequently by phone calls, people who wanted to buy things at the front desk, people who were asking questions, and any of the hairstylists had to stop what they were doing and go and help the customer at the desk, come back and go, okay, what was I doing now? So it didn't really make for a great experience. She didn't get great tips. I mean, it wasn't great, okay? There's a lot of things about it. At the other salon she worked at, her tips were getting stolen. So she'd work a full like 8 to 10 hours and only get $6 in tips, which is crazy if she did like 10 people. So, because hairstylists work on tips, a lot of it, just like service workers, at least like any kind of people in a service-based industry, oftentimes they're like tips are what makes your money. Now that she rents a station, she can set her own hours. I built her website for her. So she is training her people to go to her website to book. So they simply, and this is not just a website, it's her whole system. So when I say use systems, it's not just it's not build a static website that has information to call and book. No, I want people to self-book. So these are for appointments. If you're doing one-on-one anything, this is such a great way to do it, where you have the book now, pick a time. So she's got different offerings here with different durations of time, and she also lists a price there. And then they would click on what they want, pick a time, and it's gonna book into her calendar, and she sees that on her calendar system. Now, it's not on Zoom, this is all in person. And with that being in person, she also can send text message reminders because they booked online, and email reminders, and so she doesn't have to call anybody. Nobody has to call her, except there's a couple people she works with who don't do the online thing. They're much older clients of hers, and that's fine. But most people will do this system. It's very, very easy. So the question is, how could you simplify your schedule, your yoga classes? How could you use this to market your schedule? So like I said, I use my schedule also to market the fact that I have this, or advertise the fact that I have Ashes Academy. You could also put your studio classes, if you have a website, you could put your studio classes on a schedule. Instead of them booking through you, you would direct them to book through the studio, but it's still on your website. So it's still on your home base. It's where people can find where to work with you no matter what you're doing. And so that's a suggestion I say for everybody, is to put your class on your schedule, even if you're teaching it for somebody else, even if you're teaching for the YMCA, for your subbing, something like that. Just because if you direct people to one place where it's got all of your information, it's going to be so much easier than trying to link out a bunch of external places. So the second thing is to template your communications. I kind of highlighted that with like the email reminders, text reminders that you just set up one time. So if you create an appointment or a class, you can set it up in a lot of systems to automatically send a 1-day reminder email, or in 1 hour to go reminder email. So creating reusable email templates like confirmations, welcome emails, FAQs. This saves time and reduces a lot of mental load and admin tasks, and it keeps your messaging consistent. My go-to thought when I'm explaining how to do something is always to explain it as if I'm explaining it to someone who's 5 years old. Yes, I know. You think, well, people are smarter than that. You'd be surprised. I will say in all of my communications, there is a replay. There is a replay to this. There's a replay. I put that everywhere. So I will write down replay is available afterwards. Replay here. This is just an example where I'll say like replay is going to be available, and I'll still get people asking, is there a replay? So repeat things. So you'll see that too, repeat things, but template your communications so that it's repeating consistently, keeping things consistent, because not everybody is going to go and read the description of your class before they book, but they might read the confirmation email, or vice versa. They won't read the confirmation email, but you want that in the description of where they're booking their class. Simple tools. I often will have people write your templates and policies and all the things in a Google Doc because it saves automatically, but then copy and paste it over into your system. Just because funky things happen in Google Docs is just, it's shareable, it's safe, it auto saves. Do that first. And any kind of like Gmail templates or templates that you have, maybe it's email templates, and also built-in platform emails. So this is really applicable for anything that you need to repeat, like you can start with like FAQs or common questions. And story time. So I bought this studio back in the day, 2019. It is gorgeous. I loved it. It's now a fudge shop. It's a candy shop, and they're doing really well. And they kept the floors. So every time I go in, I'm like, oh, yoga studio. Everything else is totally different. But I bought this yoga studio, took it over, and the one thing I underestimated was how many policies, how many templated communications that I would need to write or come up with. And nowadays it's so simple because you've got the help of ChatGPT and AI to come up with some of these things to help you with like developing the base of that. Back then I didn't have that. I did a lot of Google searching. Even it was 2019, so a lot has changed in 7 years. I had to write policies, cancellation policies, membership terms and agreements, my yoga teacher training handbook and terms and agreements, and all of those things. So anytime you can create a template for these, so you can either link to them or send them over or give it to the people that need it, it's gonna just save you a lot of time later on. So template those communications. Where you can do that, you can start with like confirmations and FAQs. So an example is, you probably got some of the templated communications for this training. Yeah, probably. You got a 1-day reminder and a 1-hour reminder. So I typically do that for trainings and webinars, is to create at least 2 reminders. Did I have one for time of too? I might not, but for calls like this, I oftentimes will also have more than that. For my yoga classes, I have reminders. My Zoom yoga class, I have a reminder 15 minutes before, because there's one thing that happens frequently that I personally do not like. And it's when someone, this happened, okay, let me tell you. This happened a couple weeks ago. I had a friend reach out. If they're watching, great, you're gonna learn from this, okay? I had a friend reach out and say, hey, we should put on a goal setting accountability call. And I said, awesome, let's do it. And they told me the time. It was like Thursday at 10 o'clock my time. Great. So I put that in my paper calendar, but I didn't get a Zoom link. I didn't get any reminders. I knew in my head it was there, but I could have easily forgot. So the day before I go, hey, am I gonna get a Zoom link? And he's like, oh, I thought I sent it in email. And even though they could have sent it a week prior, but my email moves so fast, I would have lost it if they had sent it the week prior. Because without reminders, they're like, hey, here's the Zoom link again. I don't want to go digging in my email. So either making it a calendar item I can sync that has a link to it, or send it again like the hour before. So helpful. So what I do with my yoga classes is I have a 15-minute reminder, so it shows up at the top of their inbox with the Zoom link, because it's different every day. So each day they sign up, it just shows up. That way they can click that in case they didn't save it. And I have never had anyone complain that it's too many emails, too many reminders, because it's nice. And you just delete it each day if you don't want it, especially if you're coming to the class. So reminders are not reminder emails for a class that someone wants to go to or an appointment that they booked is not spamming them. It's actually really, really helpful. So template those communications, reminders that you have calls. This has actually saved my mom so much money because a lot of people tend to miss their appointments when they don't get a 1 hour reminder. So she sends out a 1 hour reminder text message if they give her their phone number and a 1 hour email. And both of those in combination really, really help because then people, no matter what they're doing, whether they're gardening, shoveling snow, they can go, oh yeah, I booked an appointment 5 weeks ago, so I better go to it. So she gets much less missed appointments, and you'll get a lot more people showing up for your classes and events if you have those reminders. I also have like welcome emails that are templates as well. So if you join one of my memberships, you're going to get a welcome email that explains like you're 5 years old. Okay, not 5, maybe like my son is now 7. So to a 7-year-old, and he can read. So he would be able to understand this, and I want him to understand this fully and completely. So I might actually have him proofreading and checking through my stuff to make sure it's good. But just imagine trying to explain, like your confirmation emails need to explain to someone who has no idea, and repetition is a good thing. So here's how to get started. Here's where you view the things. Click here. A lot of things that are going to just seem obvious to you, but if you're at all confused, then your students, your audience is also going to be very confused. So you need to understand this super good. You need to understand what you're talking about, how you're explaining it, because the more you understand it, the more you're able to simplify it for your students. I also have templates, and I'm sure you do too in some ways. I do a newsletter every month that goes out to my entire email list. Last one was January, and I've been doing this for 2 years, and it didn't start out as a template. Obviously, I had to write it at some point, to write the initial one, but it becomes a template because I can duplicate it, and then I just adjust. So it's not completely automated because I still have to write things, I still have to edit things, but it's that template to start with, so I'm not starting with a blank page every single month. So are there any templates that could save you time? Anything that people ask you? Any questions that they frequently ask you? FAQs are great. So even setting those up, that's a template. A template I also have everybody make when they work with me, first and foremost, is your yoga teacher, or your bio is your name does this. This is what you can expect. So having a bio, that's not just something you put on an about page. You can put that everywhere. I put my bio on every single, or most actually. I don't think I put it on this sales page or this sign up, but on a lot of descriptions, I put it on at the bottom of blog posts. I put it a lot of places, and that becomes its own little like mini template in a way. And the third one is to automate your payments. This is going to be great, especially if you're working online. I'll talk on that in a moment. But things you can offer, especially as yoga teachers, if you can offer a sliding scale or recurring memberships, those are going to be the best as far as like the yoga studio model. So recurring memberships are the thing, as well as series type classes. I've actually seen a lot of benefit, and a lot of, like Angela does this too, those 6-week series, like people sign up for the blocks of classes. It could also become a recurring membership if you have someone who's continuously signing up for those. Let's say it's a 6-week series with 2 weeks break in between, then maybe there's an automatic payment that's every 8 weeks, because that's when it starts up again. So to have those options is nice, and not have to do that manually or call people or email them and get their credit card number. So having your students be able to pay themselves, or to have it on auto pay, it's just more dependable for your own income and tracking. So if you can set up auto payments and digital receipts, digital invoices, that's going to be so good. And it also removes any of the awkward money conversations. And I know some of us have had those, maybe you have, where you're like, yeah, actually I have one right now. If you're on, one of my one-on-one clients yesterday asked if we could get on a call yesterday, and I was like, totally, I would be happy to. I want to help her out. And we got on this call, and it was 30 minutes long, and I just helped her realize some things, and it was great. And then she's like, okay, send me an invoice. What do I owe you? And I'm like, should I charge for this? I don't know. So this would be a good example of me needing to have like a, quick coaching call price set and say, okay, book here, or here's the payment. I actually currently don't have that, so now I'll have to create it, but it's gonna really help in the future if I have people just book a 30-minute call without me having to send money later or tell them how much it costs, right? I can just say, here's the price, done, right? Stripe, Offering Tree, Square, PayPal. Stripe, Square, and PayPal, or there's other tools as well that are like, what are they called? Merchant processing softwares. Offering Tree is not that, but it does handle payments through Stripe. But a lot of systems will connect with Stripe, Square, or PayPal so that you can take payment. So my online classes are set up as pay what you want, which I love, because back in 2020 when I was using another system and I was teaching a lot of online Zoom classes, and they were free just because it wasn't something I was trying to make a lot of money off of. I was doing it for me, and I still do it for me, and I like to invite my friends. People were sending me gift cards in the mail. I got checks in the mail. Yeah. Gift cards, checks. I would be asked like, what's your mailing address? I want to send you something. So they send me these, and I'm like, I wish people could just pay online somehow. So yes, you can say, here's my PayPal link, here's my Venmo. Yes, you can do that, but what if your system automatically allowed people to pay what they wanted with a credit card through the system without having to go to an external site? The less clicks it takes someone to get to where they want, the better. So if it takes if it takes like more than 2 clicks to get somewhere, I'm out. People's attention spans are so minimal that if it takes them out of an app and into somewhere else and then another place, and then you have to navigate back, they're already out of it. So the more you can put it into one place, the better. So I have this as $10, $5, or join for free, or you can choose whatever amount. So there's these options that you can have. This class could also be a singular price. I could just charge $20 for it, or whatever I want. And also discount codes too, but it's all in one place. Once you hit that register button, it's just there. Simple. The other thing that is so great about, what is our thing we're doing? Automating payments. Oh yes, discovery calls. I kind of talked about that before. My one-on-one client, it wasn't a discovery call she was booking. She was booking a 30-minute coaching call, which is separate. But now when someone says, hey, I want to get on a discovery call with you, it's $50. I actually had a couple people book a discovery call after watching this last time. And I was like, oh, I wasn't trying to get you to book a discovery call, but you totally can. However, because I don't just open my schedule for free coaching calls, there's a price to it. And I don't apologize about it. I don't have to talk about it. I can say, here's where you can book a call with me to have me personally help you with your next steps. It's a 30-minute call, and it's $50. So if you want to go to my site and do that, awesome. And everybody and anybody, no matter what business you're in, even my mom who has her hairstyling business, should have a call with your name, whether it's on Zoom or a phone call, but a consultation call. You can call it what you want. It can be a free discovery call, consultation call, or just a simple like book a call, because there are so many reasons why you might send someone a link to book a call with you, rather than doing that email dance once again back and forth, like, hey, when are you free? Monday or Tuesday? Okay, 10 o'clock or 12 o'clock? Okay, I'm free here. And that back and forth gets to be a lot. So when someone says, hey, can we jump on a call? And you're like, yes, because I want to talk about this opportunity with you, or I want to talk about something, you can easily send them a link and go, just book here. It's going to make it simple. So you can send it to them. They look at your calendar, they book a time, and then you get on, and there's no crazy back and forth, right? So that's been so helpful to just get me out of my inbox and constantly having to go back and forth on these tiny little detail things when all I want to do is just talk to you. But I can't right now. I have to do it tomorrow. But please just book a time. So that's what tends to happen. I also get distracted easy. So other things. What was this slide on here for? Automating payments. Oh yeah, memberships. Video memberships. I know there's a lot of people out there who would like to have this side project of a yoga video library. Maybe it's not yoga videos, but maybe it's a video library of, what can you think of? My mom could do hair tutorials if she was into that. We've got like breathwork exercises. It could be anything. They could be 5-minute videos, 30-minute videos, whatever it is. If you're wanting to create an on-demand library, the best way to charge for that is through a membership. I think it is. Now you can charge for one-off classes, but if you want to keep things automated and consistent, memberships are so good, especially with this. But memberships don't have to just be on demand. It can also be for your live classes, all the things. So I do have an on-demand membership. It is my recordings of my Zoom classes I teach at 6 a.m. Of course I want to share them with the world. I don't know how many people actually use this because it's not a huge focus of mine, but it could be. So that don't look at mine and go, well, you only have 10 members. What's that about? I don't promote this. All I do is get on Zoom, put the replays up, and I've got like 10 members who also either want to support me because my Zoom classes are free, and or that 6 a.m. Pacific time doesn't work for them. And I've been adding a couple more classes. So I added a chair yoga option as well as a 1-hour power yoga class and then 2 30-minute morning classes. So now we've got some variety in there going on. But I love this method of creating one class and putting it on with like a thumbnail that like I teach people how to do this because I don't know any other system that's as inexpensive as this, and you could put thumbnails and make it more visual. So it doesn't have all the bells and whistles, but you can click on it, access the video through the membership, and see, you know, the options and the titles and what it all is. So this is one of my favorite things to do and to teach people. And as far as payments go, what payments could you automate? Could you create a membership? Could you create an option even for like a hairstylist business? I like to use that as an example because it is very different. I was telling my mom as time goes on, she does not do automatic payments. People pay her after their appointment, but because like tipping and all that, and she just takes payment after the service because she likes to do a lot of upsells. She's like, hey, would you like me to give you a hand massage as your hair dries? And they're like, sure, that's an extra $10. Would you like an eyebrow wax? That's an extra $15. So she does a lot of upsells. So that's a little different of a process, but she at least lists the prices on her website and people book her. But as far as her business goes, much like any service-based business, even like dentists can have a membership. So my mom could do something like, if you pay $25 per month, that gives you 3 haircuts a year. You can book whenever you want, plus 1 hair color and 2 eyebrow waxes. Or she could create a package that's just the people pay monthly, but you can do your appointments anytime. So that's something that you can consider too. Like, let's say if you're like a massage therapist, a membership could be, you know, 1 massage a month for this rate, and is ongoing, and then they can book when they want, just to automate things and not having to make payments all the time. And maybe they get a discount or special bonuses. So lots of things that you could do and consider. And I want to just have you file them in the back of your mind to just go, okay, I remember she talked about this one kind of system and these payment options. Number 4 is to create repeatable offers. Something I've been trying to do, something I've been working on and is so beneficial. So you're not going to reinvent the wheel every month. What you want to do is batch create and schedule offers, classes, and challenges and memberships. Like maybe, well, when I say batch create, that's an option. What I've actually been liking doing is like weekly consistent things, but batch creating can be really helpful when you have like a course or something you're creating, right? Batch create means to create it all at like one time, like record everything at once type of thing. But you're not going to reinvent everything every month. You don't have to teach a different class or a different series every single time. I knew someone who taught an 8 weeks foundation course, which is going to be my example next week for the course creation webinar. But she taught an 8 weeks foundation course, and it was the same not the same each day, but the same each season, because she would do it quarterly. So the same each season, except people would still repeat it because there was always more to learn or something different, even though they're going through the same thing. And then new people would join as well. So you're looking to create routines your audience can count on. My audience can count on the fact that I teach at 6 a.m. Pacific time. 6 years of teaching Zoom yoga. I still love it. I'm excited about it because I have made these little micro changes and adjustments, like taking off Friday. That made it so that it felt much more sustainable. So instead of 5 days a week, I do 4. I've added a couple of different options in there, but you can depend on me to show up at 6 a.m. Pacific time. When it comes to building a successful, sustainable business, it's about consistency, showing up when you say you're going to, and people can sign up ashesyoga.com/schedule. There it is. That's not my pitch to you though. That's not what I'm telling you to do. It's an example of what I hope that you can do. So the question then becomes, if you were to pick something to repeat, what would you love to continue teaching 5 or more years from now? Some of you know Natanya from Yogi Flight School. She started Yogi Flight School for handstands and arm balances back in 2020. And this year, 6 years later, she launched again. She's doing it again. She continues to do it. She's a really great example of repeating the same offer. She is still just as excited to teach this as she was the first year. She loves this work that she does, and there's always new people coming in. And so even though her business is handstands and inversions, and she's done some side quests, side projects along the way, she still comes back to that main repeatable 3-day series that leads into her course. That is amazing. So think about something that you would continue teaching. Like, what would you, I like my morning yoga classes. I think they're amazing. Notice how you would feel if you ask yourself the question, how would I feel if I never got to teach this again or practice this? Go through each of your styles or modalities that you teach, and you're not stuck to it forever. Like, I used to teach a lot of yoga sequencing. I don't anymore. But for a time, as you continue to grow, pick something that's going to be specific if you choose to teach online. Because when you teach online, you're not just hitting a local demographic, it's the world. So what would you like to continue to teach? I've done a few like free trainings and stuff and different offers. I've got a lot of courses, but beyond that, something you've probably done, like my yoga sequencing summit I did in October. I hope to repeat that, except it'll be different because different speakers, maybe a slightly different topic. That's something that definitely should be repeated. All of these I have not yet repeated, but I want to. I did a website boot camp last March. I will do that one next. And then video creation summer camp, which led to my YouTube course. I did that last July, and I will definitely be repeating that because it was so much fun. But the first time that you do things, it's going to be not the hardest, but it will take the longest. It will take the longest. And then it's very easy for us to go, shiny object syndrome. I don't want to do that anymore. I'll move on to the next thing. But that's the worst thing you could do. So you want to be able to repeat these things because it will get easier and easier in time. So I'm definitely going to be repeating some of these as time goes on. And if you're on Instagram, the same rules apply. Repurpose your reels and your posts every 90 days. Not all of them, but maybe some of your best performing ones. Take them, like new audiences are going to see them. So take some of your older reels, your older posts, and post them again. Do it again. Repeat, rinse, repeat, run the same ads if they performed well. So that repetition is what's going to create a top of mind awareness, and some people aren't ready yet. It's not a matter of no, but not yet. So we're looking, as we continue to go on and repeat, it's more like, well, you know, now's the time versus last year. And I just had someone join my membership who's been following me since 2021, but it's never worked with me. So that's great. I'm like, that's perfect. You know, that's what I'm looking for. So can you think of any offers or classes that you could repeat? Any challenges, any fun things? We can think for a moment. Oh, this is gonna be over an hour. Well, I'll do my best, okay? So I'm talking a little bit more today. Keep tools consolidated. This is our last one we're gonna go through. Too many platforms can sometimes create a scattered business and a scattered brain. So what's best, what I think is best, especially as you're starting or you're shifting, is to choose an all-in-one platform or software to manage all of these things: website, bookings, payments, and emails. Maybe in the past you had someone build you a WordPress site and they tried to teach you how to make edits and it just became overwhelming and a bit expensive. Let's not do that. I've done that, and I used to teach how to build WordPress websites too. But honestly, some websites are just flat websites with information and they don't have all of the systems included. You need to go external for that, and that's That's what makes you scattered. So I like to keep things consolidated and in one place. When you have fewer logins, you have more peace of mind. So my favorite tool is Offering Tree. So again, I'm not trying to sell you on this, but if you're a tech savvy, I can do it myselfer, you're an action taker and you're like, I can figure it out. I hear what you're saying, Ashley. I can put a schedule up. I know my classes. Offering Tree might be, it's like offeringtree.com/ashes. Go there, get a discount. Another thing I love about this is it's affordable for what you can do with it. And you don't even know. I have not even scratched the surface. So what you can do with it is just so amazing with the features that are available for the price that it is. Because I was spending, and I still spend hundreds, plural, like over 500, more actually, like 700, a lot of dollars per month on different systems so that they could all connect. And I don't want, nobody needs to do that. I was doing that long before I found Offering Tree. I started in 2021, but it handles all 5 parts of this. It does emails, website, schedule. Every screenshot you saw here was probably from my Offering Tree website. And my mom's Offering Tree website as well. It's built for wellness entrepreneurs, but like I said, my mom has one too. She's a hairstylist. This can work for fitness, service-based coaching, coaches, anyone that needs to book appointments, send reminders, that kind of stuff. Okay. So in a quick recap, simplify your scheduling, template your communications, automate your payments, create repeatable offers, and keep those tools consolidated. If you have another tool that you want to use, that's cool too. I use a bunch of them and I'm happy to support you in whatever you choose. There's a lot out there actually. But pick one of these things maybe to implement this week. Even if it's just writing out those templates, those reminder emails, or maybe you're looking for a way to automate payments. Pick something to implement that you can do and actually take action. And you have a choice. So this is where I get into talking about a little bit how we could work together or how you can move forward. So you can figure this out on your own. I told you, awesome. You can take this, go for it. Or you can get support through the process and you can have fun, a little more fun, have a community, which is what you could do with me and my people and our people. So business building is so much better with friends, with co-working sessions, coaching calls, with check-ins, with people who understand what you're going through. So if you're serious about doing it in less time and making it fun, if you're connecting, if you're like, I'm still here, this sounds cool, and you want to feel supported through online, that's Ashes Academy. So I renamed it a while back. It was Virtual Vinyasa Academy, and then Yoga Business from Home. But now I just like Ashes Academy. Everything is Ashes branded. So I've got Ashes Creator Club, Ashes Accelerator, but Ashes Academy is my main place where I work with a group, the main group that has all the really nitty-gritty step-by-step processes to building these systems and beyond. So inside of this, there is a bunch of courses, which someone told me the other day when they joined on our welcome call. She was like, I didn't realize how many courses I got inside. There's a lot of stuff. I'm like, yeah, I should do a better job at saying that. So you get at least 6 courses, if not more, depending on the different challenges you've joined in the past. And a lot of them just have to do with building these systems, email list building, launching, building a digital library of videos, website building, scheduling, all the things. And then also the community, which is in a Facebook group, keeping it simple, not required, but it's helpful to have. And then the community and coaching with Zoom calls at least weekly, if not more, because we do co-working sessions as well. So these are the courses that are included currently. You might even have some already in your Teachable dashboard if you've attended some of my free trainings or bought some of my other things like Focus Flow or Yoga Sequencing Bundle. So I use Teachable for my course system, but those are all inside. And it does not include the YouTube course. Just got to say that because some people are surprised by that. That's a separate course because it's a totally it needs its own space, right? It does. Yes, you can. From getting clear about your audience to selling your first offer, the courses inside have you covered. It's all there. You got it. So I will give you, and you will see inside just this nice, really organized graph this infographic that I made, because this is how my brain works. I'm a very logistical step-by-step person. Do you have a website? Yes or no? Is it optimized? Yes or no? Do you have an email list? Yes or no? And you'll go through each of the process and then decide where you can start. We also book a welcome call with me, so I will tell you where to start. So it's designed to support you over time. The best thing to do is not to jump in and say, I'm doing it all in a month, because that's overwhelming. And I'm not here to provide overwhelm for you. I want sustainability, structure, systems. I don't know. I've just found, because I don't think I'm regularly as structured as this, but I found ways to help with that, and I want to teach it to you too. The best results come in for staying at least a year. I've been in this for 10 years, okay, and I didn't start seeing, and this isn't going to be you necessarily, because I got different tips and tricks, but I didn't see a profit in my business for at least 3 years, because I was a little lazy with it, to be honest. I was doing a lot of things that I shouldn't have been doing, like making logos. That's not gonna build your business. Making logos is not gonna build your business. It's fun, sure. I was making a lot of graphics as a graphic designer, but I wasn't doing the things such as communicating with people. I wasn't talking to people. So I have more systems that actually work. So I do have 2 options. It's monthly and yearly. This is a membership, and you get some bonuses. You can book a call with me, weekly coaching calls with the group, and also you get Creator Club workshops. Last week, you get all the replays too. Last week with the Creator Club, we did a silly, fun training on creating animated graphics and GIFs, like the animated things, little splashes. And I was upfront and saying, this is not gonna grow your business, but it's fun. So if you're looking to have a little fun, you can join. So that's what the Creator Club is. You get that included as well. I've got a lot of people who have said things like this. I do teach you how to use Offering Tree inside, and I do teach you how to use other systems too. So Teresa said, I can't believe I built my own website from scratch. So easy, I make it simple. I know I do, because everyone says that. And designed a course in just over a month. See, she did it pretty fast. Not always the case, but sometimes. Thank you so much. And then we've got, I could go through a lot of other testimonials, but if you watched my other webinar, others, you've probably seen them. Yeah, but it comes with a course library, which has tons of modules and lessons. You can dive into those on your own, get support through weekly coaching, welcome call with me, and the Creator Club workshops. All in all, the cost of this, if you're like, what's the price, Ashley? Lots of value here, lots of value, thousands of dollars, but not for you. The regular price, again, this is a regular price, is $14.50 lifetime, or you can choose a 97 month-to-month option. But not for you. For you, it's less. So $450 if you want to do an annual. So this is the only place here that is an annual option. Annual option being staying in for 1 year. Otherwise, it's lifetime and or monthly. The monthly is great because there's no commitment. And once you're in, I gotta get the link here. Once you're in, I'm just gonna post this link here. Once you're inside, if you do the monthly, the price isn't going to go up for you. You join now, it's going to stay $47 a month until you cancel. And then it may go up next time if you wanted to rejoin again. So right now, if you were to join, it's $47 a month. And this is the only place after watching and training with me, is the only place you can get that rate, because you've watched this and you are now aware of what's inside and what's included. So there's a little bit more skin in the game for you. Whereas publicly, I have this listed at $97. So either one, I do think joining for a year is going to be your best option, because it gives you a little bit more time and space. And sometimes some months are going to be more than others. There's going to be different things going on in your life. I get it. I was that way too. And I typically do like to do one-time payments, but that's on you. I'm not going to pressure you either way. Oops. So if you dream from working from home or from anywhere, like I do, and creating systems to help your business grow with or without you present, or having daycare tell you your son cannot come to daycare, but I don't have to cancel anything. How great is that? So I just had to show up here. I didn't have to actually send a bunch of emails. Enrolling in Ashley's Academy, it might just be what you need. So you click the link to enroll, submit your payment, check your email, then get started. Book a welcome call with me, and I cannot wait to talk with you. Again, one of my favorite things to do, because what I found is that the people that join, usually people that join, we're already best friends. I just haven't met you yet. And then I can talk with you and we can chit chat about what the best next steps for you would be. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask them here, ask them in the chat box, ask them in the comments. Well, I don't know if I'll watch the comments. You might ask them in the comments. I'll try to find them. Or you can Instagram message me at Ashes Yoga or email me. If you're watching this on replay or if you get that replay email in your inbox and you have a question later, no problem. That is for the next 24 hours, which actually means till tomorrow night. So it's more like 36 hours. So until tomorrow night. The reason I do this, and there's a deadline, is because I like to be able to welcome people in the next week. So if you were to join today or tomorrow, you can book your welcome call and we'll talk either Tuesday or Thursday. If those times don't work for you, look at my, reach out to me. But I do have availability Tuesday and Thursday, as well as some other times too. So we can get on that welcome call. Not required, but I still love talking to you. And then get you started building the systems, like your schedule or your website. If you already have a website, awesome. We can help you launch a course. We can help you launch that next 6-week series. I can help you with understanding how email list building works if you're starting from zero, or if your list is stagnant or hasn't been growing. There's a lot of things inside, so it's designed to support you over the long term, and you get to design it yourself. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Do I use Canva for my presentations? No. Great question. If you're wondering about this slideshow, I am now though. So let me also show you. I'm going to stop this share. I'm going to share the other screen. So I do have the links already there. So this is my website, right? So I actually use InDesign only because with my graphic design background, I started doing a lot of my slides in InDesign. However, I'm trying to move everything over to Canva. So my course next week, I'm teaching creating courses in Offering Tree, how to host courses, communicate with students, and support live learning. These are my slides for that training. And I'm still working on them. So I'm starting to move everything over to Canva, but my current slides were made in InDesign. I don't recommend it to anybody ever, but I've done kind of like the template your communications. I have created so many webinars over the years in InDesign that I ended up just, copy and pasting the template and just making some adjustments to it. Now, I did make this graphic in Canva, and a lot of these graphics were made in Canva, but the whole slides was InDesign. Canva's better though, and it's free. And there's these backgrounds, actually, the star background, that came from Canva as well. I love Canva. That's why the Creator Club is so fun. Now, this isn't a pitch for the Creator Club, but if all you're interested in is the fun, creative type stuff, that would be the Creator Club. And let's go to that. It's on my Offering Tree website. I got the Creator Club. It's $9 a month because it's one monthly workshop. It's one workshop a month, a session. I don't prep for these. So all of the replays are here. Last week we did creating short animated graphics. We've done other things like creating sequencing PDFs, video, thumbnails, voiceover basics, things that are sort of like the sprinkles on top of the cake. Not needed to build a foundation, but fun as little extra side projects and good things to learn. So that's the Creator Club. It is included inside Ashes Academy, absolutely. So yes, you do get it in there. So in Ashes Academy, we actually have courses in Teachable, and you'll see the Creator Club over there too. I actually upload the sessions multiple places. So in the call replays, I have the Creator Club at the bottom, Creator Club replays. So I link to them in our Facebook group, and I'll share them here too. So I have them, here's our lesson on creating short form animations. Super fun. So yes, it's included. Definitely. Lots of things are included. Pretty much it's where I am. Oh, I'm really bright. is pretty much where I am most of the time, is inside of Ashes Academy, helping people out, doing coaching calls, as in like helping them get through some mindset stuff, because we do 2 coaching calls. They're every Wednesday. We got either a coaching call or training at different various times. You can check out my public schedule, ashesyoga.com/schedule, and you can actually see when the coaching calls are. I may change them like 2 or 3 times a year, just depending on my own schedule and what's been working and not working. So like next week we have a 5 p.m. call, my time, 5 p.m. Pacific, which is the first time I'm putting an evening call up. But I know I try to hit different time zones and make sure everybody feels supported. And that's that. So if you want to join, back to it. If you want to join, boom. Instagram advice, I do not teach on Instagram specifically. I will direct you someplace else for that, because that, like YouTube, is a whole different thing. Like that's its own whole beast of a thing, a specific social media platform. So Instagram also changes so quickly, but we can have conversations about Instagram within the coaching calls. I don't have any courses that teach you how to use Instagram. I did in the past, I had taught some things on like teaching Instagram Reels, and I discovered, just me personally, that it changed so fast and I didn't want to personally keep up with all of it. I am part of a membership on About Instagram, and I can direct you to that membership instead if Instagram were your focus, your super focus. So if you're like, I really want to grow on Instagram, I'm very serious about it, I have some resources for you. So not only am I going to be that person helping you with some of this foundation stuff, but I'm also happy to give you resources and recommendations, even if it's not me. Like if it's better, if you work with someone else or someplace else, I'd rather give you that instead. I do use Instagram. So yeah, it can be a topic of conversation in a coaching call, but it will never become a course. I don't have any specific social media courses. But I do have, we do have a lot of lessons on promoting. Let's say email list building basics. There is a lesson or a module on promotions. And I will mention using Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube and other means to promote an email list. In the email list building course to promote whatever it is that you're selling. So I'll talk about that. I have experience with it too. I also am using ManyChat a lot more now for direct message automation. Those are fun conversations to have. All sorts of things. I also am long-winded sometimes. I like to repeat myself because I've got the teacher mentality. Like if I were teaching in an elementary school, there'd be a lot of repetition. I've never taught in elementary school. I've only been a yoga teacher ever, but I tend to repeat myself because sometimes people don't register things the first time and you have to say it in a different way. That's what I teach to all my yoga teachers too in my 200-hour training for communication, is sometimes they're not going to hear step your foot forward. They might hear place your toes to the outer edge of your mat. Much better. I don't know. So repetition is best, is what I do a lot. So yeah, so I'm not going to repeat myself too much here. We're going to end it here. Thank you so much for joining. Great questions. Thanks for being on. Make sure you sign up for the course webinar I'm doing next week through Offering Tree. I think it's going to be really good. I'm excited for it. That is free as well. The sales pitch on that is pretty much the same. It's going to be either joining Offering Tree or hey, if you want to work with me, but mostly it's a training. I'm not going to I'll hardly introduce myself to, I'm going to just get right to it. So join that. And also if you want to head into Ashes Academy, I gave you the link for that. And for those already inside, I will see you on a co-working session or coaching call soon, or your welcome call. So thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.